The first time I realized my family could smile while sharpening a knife was at the student ID office, under fluorescent lights that made everyone look like a tired ghost. I was 18, wearing my new college sweatshirt like armor, standing in a line of future adults holding paperwork and hope. My phone buzzed with an email from Lakeside University. Subject: Payment reminder. Balance due: $18,740. Due date: today. I laughed, because my brain refused to accept it. My parents had promised the first year was covered. They said it for years, in the same warm tone they used for holiday prayers. "We have you. We will handle it." I stepped out of line and called my mother, Nora. She answered bright and breezy. "Maya, honey, did you get your picture taken yet?" "Mom," I said, "what is the tuition situation?" A pause. Then my father, Glenn, took the phone. "Maya, we redirected the college money." "Redirected," I repeated, like it was a package with the wrong zip code. "To your brother," he said. "Parker needs it more right now. His business is at a critical stage." Parker, 24, serial dreamer. He had started Neon Forge Labs in our garage, and my parents treated the name like a hymn. Every mistake he made was a learning experience. Every success I earned was expected, then forgotten. I could hear the ID office printer spitting out plastic cards for kids whose parents did not use the word redirected. "I am in the building," I said. "I am literally here." "You are smart," Glenn said, calm as a locked door. "Take a year off. Work. Figure it out." My mother returned to the call, voice turned syrupy. "You will understand one day. This is what family does. We support each other." Support, I thought, while they pulled the ladder away. The worst part was not the money, it was the script. The calm certainty that I should be proud of losing my future, as if disappointment was character training. "Where is Parker?" I asked. "In a meeting," my mother said fast. "Big opportunity. He is stressed, so please do not make this harder. Do not make this harder," the family motto. Meaning, do not disturb our favorite story. I ended the call without yelling. I walked back into line and let the clerk tell me my photo was fine. Fine, like my life was fine. In my car, my hands shook as I opened my banking app. I had $1,146 from grocery store shifts. Not tuition money, not even a semester. A text came in from Nora. "Love you, proud of you. We will talk tonight." "Proud of you," I whispered to the steering wheel. Proud like a sticker, not a promise. That night, I did not go home to beg. I went home to pack, not for college, for escape. I moved fast, quietly, like a person leaving a building with a fire alarm that only she can hear. Before dawn, I left a note on the kitchen table under the framed family photos. It said, "I am not your backup plan. I am not your donation jar. I am done being your easy choice." Then I drove away while the house still looked peaceful, like it had never swallowed anyone whole. I moved into my friend Tessa's apartment the same day my parents stole my dorm life. Tessa worked nights at a diner and lived above a nail salon that smelled like acetone and ambition. The couch was lumpy and the air conditioner wheezed, but the place had one priceless feature. No one in it lied to me with a smile. At first, my parents texted like nothing happened. "How is the search going? Are you eating? We miss you." They used gentle words the way a pickpocket uses soft hands. Parker, meanwhile, became a headline in my mother's world. Nora posted photos of him in front of a whiteboard covered in arrows and nonsense. She wrote captions like, "Proud of our visionary, family business, big things coming." Glenn shared links to Neon Forge like he was launching a rocket, not a logo taped onto an idea. Then came the part that made my teeth grind. Nora wrote, "Maya is taking a gap year to find her path. We are proud of both our children, chasing their dreams in different ways. Gap year, as if I chose it." I did not comment. I did not argue. I went quiet. Silence gave me room to think, and anger gave me fuel. I picked up every job I could. I stocked shelves, cleaned offices, wrote boring product descriptions for small businesses that paid in crumpled cash. Every night, I sat at Tessa's kitchen table with my laptop and taught myself skills my family insisted I did not have. I learned search marketing. I learned how to write headlines that made people click. I learned how to build a simple website and make it look trustworthy. The internet does not care if you went to college, it cares if you solve a problem. I built a content site about budget home repairs, the kind of work my father pretended to respect when it came from anyone but me. I wrote the articles myself, testing keywords like a scientist with one beaker. Traffic trickled in like a leaky faucet. Then it doubled. Then it doubled again. I did not celebrate with a speech. I celebrated with groceries that did not come from the discount rack. Around month 4, Parker started calling. First he texted, "Hey sis, do you know anything about ads?" Then he called, voice glossy with fake charm. "Maya, you are good with computers. Maybe you can help me optimize a few things. Just a quick look." Quick look. That is how people describe the time they want to steal. I ignored him. Then Glenn left a voicemail that sounded like a man swallowing his pride like a pill. "Maya, we are worried. We just want our family back." Family back, I thought. The family they broke, then blamed on me. Tessa watched me delete the voicemail. She did not ask for details. She only said, "If they wanted you, they should have kept you." By month 6, my site earned more than my grocery job. I started freelancing under a plain brand name, Clear Ledger Digital. I told no one in my family. I let them keep their story, because the truth was growing quietly, like a storm building over warm water. Storms do not announce themselves, they arrive. The first real money I made did not feel like a jackpot. It felt like oxygen. A home improvement brand hired me to audit their website and fix their traffic problem. They offered $3,000 for 10 hours of work. I accepted and did the job with the focus of a person defusing a bomb. The results were good. The brand referred me to another, then another. That is how I met Rena. She was a designer at a local meetup, rolling her eyes at every buzzword. When I said most websites look like they were built by sleepy raccoons, she laughed and said, "Finally, a language I understand." 2 coffees later, we had a plan. A small agency that helped ordinary businesses get found online without the cult talk. We named it Bright Spine Studio because it sounded like something that could stand up straight. While Bright Spine grew, my family performed their favorite hobby, pretending. Nora left voicemails that started with honey and ended with guilt. Glenn sent short texts that looked polite but cut like paper. "Your mother is heartbroken. You are being stubborn. Parker is under enormous pressure." Parker never apologized. He only changed angles. When charm failed, he tried nostalgia. "Remember our living room forts?" When nostalgia failed, he tried urgency. "Investors are asking questions. I need you to help me present the numbers." It was impressive. They could set me on fire and still ask why I smelled like smoke. The perfect moment for my revenge arrived through a wedding invitation. My cousin Elise was getting married at a lakeside vineyard. Everyone would be there, including relatives who still believed the gap year lie. Nora texted as if we were close. "We would love to see you. It would mean so much." Rena called it immediately. "They do not want you. They want the picture of you." So we gave them a picture. Brightspine had just sponsored a small business workshop at the vineyard. Rena designed a table card with a QR code that linked to a case study on our site. The title was simple, "The Tuition That Moved." It told my story in numbers, dates, amounts, screenshots of the payment reminder, a timeline of my work and income, no insults, the truth, wearing a blazer. I arrived at the reception quietly. Conversation slowed. Nora spotted me first. Her face flickered through confusion, then recognition, then that famous fake smile. "Maya." "Oh my gosh, we were not sure you would come." I shrugged. "I was invited by the venue. Glenn approached, jaw tight. You look well. I am, I said. How is the family? The word family made his eyelid twitch. Parker stood near the bar, holding a drink like it was medicine. When he saw me, he froze, then forced a grin. Maya. Wow. Long time. Long time, I agreed. A cousin leaned over my shoulder and asked what the QR code was. I smiled. It is a story about planning and accountability. She scanned it. Her eyebrows rose. Then she scanned it again, slower, like reading a warning label. Within minutes, the code traveled. Phones came out. Whispers started. People looked at Nora and Glenn with a new kind of curiosity, the kind that does not accept smiles as evidence. Nora tried to laugh it off, voice too loud. Families make sacrifices. Sometimes timing is hard. I watched her perform and realized my revenge did not need a speech. It only needed a mirror. And at that wedding, I held it up. The fallout did not start with shouting. It started with silence. 2 days after the wedding, my phone filled with messages that all meant the same thing. People had seen the mirror. Glenn texted first. We need to talk face to face. Nora texted next. Your post is causing problems. Please take it down. Think about the family. Think about the family, I thought. The family that thought about me for 3 seconds, then spent my future like spare change. Parker sent an email titled, Quick Clarification, like the problem was a typo. He claimed the money was a temporary loan, that I had misunderstood the plan. He ended with, You are hurting our brand. Our brand. That is what we were now. A product. The real damage hit him fast. A local incubator called SparkSpring had been circling his company. After my case study spread, SparkSpring quietly postponed their founder grants. Investors started asking Glenn questions at barbecues and poker nights. The kind of questions asked with a smile and a raised eyebrow. My parents tried a new strategy. Affection. Nora left a voicemail that began with I love you and ended with, I raised you better than this. Glenn said he was proud of my success, then asked why I had to embarrass them. He used embarrass like I had worn the wrong shoes, not like they had rerouted my life. Finally, Parker called. His voice was thin, stripped of confidence. Maya, you did not have to do this. People are turning on me. The accelerator paused the grant. The landlord is threatening eviction. I am drowning. You gave him my tuition, I said. You wrote a caption about my gap year. You asked me to smile in the family photo. You are not drowning, Parker. You are meeting the water you poured. A pause. Then he said, Fine. What do you want? He sounded like my father, which explained everything. I answered honestly. I want you to stop rewriting my life. I want you to stop pretending you did me a favor. I want you to stop using the word family when you mean control. He exhaled. That is not a number. Exactly, I said. You do not get to buy this back. The next day, a letter arrived from my parents' attorney. It demanded I remove defamatory statements. Defamatory, I said out loud, tasting the word. I forwarded it to my lawyer, Priya Shah, a woman who wrote emails like a scalpel. She replied with one paragraph and attached receipts. She ended with a line that felt like fireworks. Any further contact will be considered harassment. After that, the messages stopped. Not because they understood, because they were losing, and they hated losing in public. Even my relatives changed their tone. A few called to apologize for believing the gap year story. Others went quiet, because silence is easier than admitting they cheered for the wrong kid. I opened a new client contract and felt something settle in my chest. Not anger, not sadness, relief. Because the story was finally mine, and I was done letting them edit it. 3 months after the wedding, my life looked nothing like the version my parents posted online. Brightspine Studio grew from 2 laptops into a small team. Tessa quit the diner and became our operations manager, which felt like cosmic justice in the shape of health insurance. Rena hired 2 writers and a coordinator. I kept the case study up. Truth should not disappear when it becomes inconvenient. Parker disappeared the way some people do when consequences arrive. Neon Forge stopped posting. The website went dark. Then, one morning, I saw the listing. Office liquidation. Standing desks, monitors, an ergonomic chair that looked like it had never met real work. No seller name, just a phone number and the smell of panic. I bought one desk. Not to gloat, but to reclaim. Rena watched the delivery guys carry it into our office and asked, "You sure you want that energy in here?" I ran my hand over the scratched surface. "I want it where it is useful," I said. "Some things belong with people who actually build." A week later, my parents showed up at the Brightspine office, in broad daylight, like two actors who forgot the show ended. Tessa buzzed me. "Maya, your parents are here. They look rehearsed." I walked to the lobby. Nora stood first, dressed too nicely for an apology. Glenn stood behind her, arms crossed, face tight. "Maya," Nora said, smile shaky. "We just want to talk." Glenn added, "We have been through a lot." I waited. The air hummed with the old pattern, the one where they expected me to fill the silence with forgiveness. Nora tried again. "We never meant to hurt you. We were trying to support the family." Parker was struggling. I tilted my head. And I was not. She blinked. That was the whole issue. In their minds, my competence meant I needed less care. My stability meant I could be sacrificed. They used my strength as a reason to ignore me, then called it trust. Glenn cleared his throat. "Parker is living at home again. Things are hard. People are judging us." Us, I thought. Not him. Not the choice. Not the lie. The shame. Nora reached into her purse and held out an envelope. "We want to make it right." I did not touch it. I could guess what was inside. A check, a bargain, a clean ending. "Here is what making it right looks like," I said. "Stop calling theft a family decision. Stop calling my loss a gap year. Stop using love as a transaction. If you want a relationship, earn it with honesty." Nora opened her mouth, then closed it. Glenn looked annoyed, which was almost comforting. At least he was consistent. I walked them to the door. No hug, no yelling. Only calm professionalism, the same thing they demanded from me for years. After they left, Rena leaned in my doorway. "How do you feel?" I looked at the desk I bought from Parker Liquidation, now holding my laptop and my plans. "I feel clear," I said. "Because revenge is not watching them fall. Revenge is building a life so real that their fake one cannot compete. And this time, I did not need their permission to thrive.